Hey everyone, I'm Northern Explorer. Welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to install a much better speed controller in my roof vent fan. I'm also going to relocate the fan from this vent over my bed to this vent over my kitchen area. The roof vent fan that four-wheel campers uses is called a Fan-Tastic vent. It works really well, but one common issue people have with it is the fact that it only has 3 speed settings. In particular, the slowest speed setting is too fast. Sometimes all you want is a little bit of air exchange to vent out any fumes when cooking. With my previous camper, I tried to remedy this by installing a 4 ohm 10 watt resistor. This didn't work very well for 2 reasons. First of all, speed level 1 was still too fast for my liking, and second, now speed level 3 wasn't fast enough when I wanted to vent out hot air on a hot day. I found this speed controller on Amazon that should solve my problems. It will allow me to turn the fan speed down to a much lower level, but still allow me to turn the fan up to its fastest speed when maximum ventilation is required. As a bonus, it's infinitely variable. I ordered my 4-wheel camper with 2 roof vents. I felt with a space this small, only one of those vents needed a fan. I was given a choice to have the fan located in the vent above the bed or in the vent above the cooking area. I chose to have the fan located in the vent above the bed, thinking it would be nice to be able to reach the fan while lying in bed. I have since had second thoughts about this decision. First, the fan over the bed is a little bit hard to reach when I'm not actually lying in bed. It's going to be even harder to reach once I have the interior built out. Second, since I went with the king-size bed option, the vent over the cooking area is perfectly reachable while lying in bed. I hesitated relocating the fan because I thought I was going to have to remove the entire unit, which would mean breaking the factory silicone seal. I now realize that the fan and vent can be easily separated from one another, which should make this job a lot easier. The aftermarket speed controller has built-in reverse polarity protection. This means that it must be wired in between the incoming power supply and the fan directional switch. Otherwise, the fan will only work in one direction. I decided to keep the original 3-speed switch in place. The new speed controller is wired in series with the original switch. Okay, so I got everything wired up for the bench test, and if I did this properly, the fan should work in both directions. So let's test it here. All right, so it's going counterclockwise. If I flip the directional switch, now it's going clockwise. So I just got to reassemble it and put it back in the camper. I'm mounting the speed controller right here in this corner, but because the speed controller is flat and the surface I'm mounting it on is round, there's a gap on either side. So I'm using drywall anchors and I'm cutting them down to little legs and then spacing them in here, and they'll fit just perfect. The new switch has this little barb that's designed to stop the switch itself from spinning, but it's a little too thick, so I'm going to see if I can shave some of that off. That's better. Now I just gotta glue this into place. So I got it all wired up, and I only made one very minor mistake. This originally came with black and white wiring, so I assumed that the black was negative and the white was positive. So I hooked up red wire thinking it was positive, and I made all my connections. And then I read on here, black wire positive, white wire negative. So the end result of that, to fix that minor mistake, is when I plug in the fan, I just have to plug it into the opposite terminal that it originally was set up for. Otherwise it would be blowing in when it's supposed to be blowing out. Other than that, with liberal use of the glue gun, I got it all set up. This is the main power coming in, which the vent is pre-wired for. I just have to remember that there are now 2 fuses on here. So if something goes wrong, I'll have to check the original fuse, and then the new speed controller has a small fuse on it also. Time to install it in the camper. One of the reasons why I didn't get rid of the original 3-position switch is because on the back of it, it has this kind of spring feature, and I'm not 100% sure what that is. I think it might be some kind of a rain sensor, because if you look at the housing of the fan, it's open to the sky right above that. So it's either a rain sensor or a temperature sensor. But this fan doesn't have the thermostat anyways. So I'm thinking it might have something to do with a rain sensor. Either way, I didn't want to get rid of it. It was just as easy just to keep it. So now I just gotta do the final wiring and test it out for the last time. All right, so I got the installation done finally, and let's test it out. So I got it blowing in on 1. Got the speed controller turned down. I can make it that slow if I wanted to. So prior to this, that was speed level 1, which is way too fast for my liking. So with the speed controller, I still have full top end. It'll go as fast as it did prior, but now I just have the ability to turn it way, way down, which is exactly what I wanted. One more small job done. That's it for this one. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.